What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another what to buy on eBay video. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm still a little bit sick right now. I've got a few videos that are recorded for next week as well where I'm a little under the weather, so you'll have to bear with me if I cough my way through this video. As always, my Patreon supporters get my videos 24 hours early access. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up. And thank you guys who are my Patreon supporters. Really appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at some items that are for sale on eBay. We've got comic books, we've got vintage Kenner, we've got some vintage collection, loose graded, mint on card, a pretty wide assortment here. And as always, make sure you vet the sellers, make sure you really zoom in on the photos to make sure that these items are for you before you pull that trigger on buying them. But I think I've got a pretty nice list here. So the first one we're going to start off with, make sure you go check out this seller, Gorilla Specialties. I've never bought from this seller, full disclosure. I don't know this seller at all, but he or she just listed a bunch of really nice unpunched TVC 1.0, and all of them are pretty good prices if you ask me. The first one is a VC08 Darth Vader unpunched on the ESB card back. It looks to be in really great shape. This is the US card back. A little bit of wave at the bottom of the card, but it's 60 bucks. 60 bucks and free shipping as well. So that's pretty good. I didn't pull up all of this seller's items, but I wanted to show you a couple of them. This one I thought was a really good deal as well. This is the brown bandana Kithaba, and this one is got the Darth Maul offer sticker, and it's also unpunched on the US card back, and this one looks to be in great shape as well. But this seller does have others available, so go check them out. And as always, I'll put a link or I'll put a list of the item numbers for all of these items in the video description in case you want a quick search by the item numbers. Sometimes I forget to do that, but this time I promise to try and do that when I upload this video. So, but anyway, go check out this seller. He's got lots of really nice TVC 1.0, and all of them are in pretty good shape and nice prices as well. But I think that price is pretty good, 70 bucks. You know, this one obviously was going to come down in price after the, you know, re-release. I think this was one of the ones that got re-released as part of the new wave that's coming. But, you know, to me, there's always a special place in my heart for a lot of these TVC 1.0. I actually have this one with a vendor sample tag on the back of it, and that's a really cool item. So anyway, just go check out that seller. Next up, we've got a few loose graded. This is Gaz SWFC on eBay, but this seller runs a Facebook group called Dark Side Alliance. It's based in the UK. So if any of these are of interest, go reach out to them on Facebook because you can save yourself some eBay fees. But I wanted to point out a couple of them that he had. This is the Hong Kong Hoth Rebel Soldier with the brand new K-Style, graded UKG 85%. And right now it's listed for 79 pounds, which is 97 US dollars plus shipping. But again, if you go to Dark Side Alliance and maybe send Gaz a private message along with a link to this eBay listing, you can take some money off because he'll do it away from eBay and save everybody some money. He also has this, this is the Hong Kong Lando Calrissian Bespin with the brand new K-Style graded UKG 80%. And this one has the white painted teeth, which in my opinion is a little bit harder to find for that Hong Kong. The more common Hong Kong is the one without the white painted teeth, but this is the one with the painted teeth. It's not labeled as such on the UKG label, but AFA does denote no teeth or with white teeth, or however they do it. But this is a nice example, and AFA graded examples can set you back $150 or more in an AFA 85. So I think for a UKG 85 for 79 pounds, that's a pretty good buy in my mind with the brand new K-Style. So go check out those, and I'm sure Gaz has some other ones for sale. So again, you can reach out to them on Dark Side Alliance to save some money. And as I've always talked about in past market updates, I always hesitate to include buy it now comic books on my what to buy videos because the comic book market is down and dropping. But I think this is actually not a bad price. This is Clone Wars #8, the first full appearance of Clone Commander Wolf. You know, is he a major character? Probably not. But it's a great cover, and it shows Asajj Ventress kind of getting ready to attack, I guess that's Plo Koon. And, you know, Dan Parsons cover art, pretty great looking cover. It's listed, it's a CGC 9.8 with white pages. This is a 2009 comic from Dark Horse, and this is listed for 140 bucks plus $14 shipping. And there's 4 watchers on it, including myself. I think that's actually a pretty good price. I'd pay that myself. But again, you know, if you waited for an auction, could you get it for 120, 130 bucks? Probably. But maybe you watch it and see if you eventually get an offer. But it's 140 bucks, so just keep that in mind. And just keep in mind that the comic book market is down and seems to be dropping. And it's a kind of a secondary or even tertiary key book. But it's, you know, it's an early Clone Wars book, and it's certainly desirable, and a pretty great cover by Dan Parsons. Next up, I've got a Revenge of the Jedi, Princess Leia. This is an unpunched example from the SDCC Death Star set, and this is graded uncirculated 95 by UKG, and it's an incredible item. And I know this seller, this is a seller who's a Patreon supporter of mine, but I had to show it because it's an incredible score for a very desirable item within the TVC line. Uncirculated 95. There's 10 watchers on it right now. Right now it's a buy it now for 800 pounds. But I received an offer from the seller for 600 pounds. So again, you know, this is worth watching, I think. Or if you have a desire to buy this item and you want to do it away from eBay, you can shoot me an email, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with the seller's email. I'm sure you wouldn't mind that if it meant selling this item, but it's a beauty. It's a real beauty. If I wasn't cash strapped right now, this would be very tempting because it's a beautiful example, uncirculated 95, as good as it gets, and that's from the SDCC Death Star set. That's not the retail release. It's the Revenge of the Jedi offerless. So just a truly stunning item. And he's got some others as well that you can check out. Check out his eBay profile for some other items available. Next up, I thought this is a pretty decent buy. This is a 65 back B Bossk, and it's got a clear blister. Unpunched Return of the Jedi card back. It's not perfect by any means. Again, you have to excuse my voice, but the blister looks to be, 100% attached and everything. It's got one little ding right. Let's see if we can get these photos to work. eBay is so annoying. There's the ding right there in the upper, right-hand corner. But the card itself is in great shape. It's got one little spider vein right there that you can see. It's barely noticeable. The seller does a great job of showing the spider veins. There's one on the back of the card. Probably a 75 plus, maybe a low 80, depending on who's grading it and what kind of mood they're in. But that's a pretty nice looking example. And there was one at Vectis that just sold for stupid money. I mean, like almost double, if not over double this price. And is this as good a condition as that one on Vectis? No, but it's a really nice example, and I think it's worth a look. Right now it's listed for $345 US, free shipping as well in the US. So I've never bought from this seller, Stimutax, but I've seen this seller on eBay a lot, and that's a pretty nice looking clear blister 65 back B Bossk for a very fair price in my mind. Next up, again, I don't know if this price is fair, just given that Starkiller has been re-released, but this is the European release for Starkiller unpunched card. You can see the obvious, stickers over the top on the upper left and upper right-hand corner, and on the back it's got that multi-language warning label. VC100 unpunched card, looked to be in great shape there. Right now it's listed for $217 or 175 pounds plus shipping. Is that a fair price? I don't know. I mean, I think that in a year's time, the original Starkiller will probably be even less. But relative to what this used to sell for prior to the re-release announcement, I think, this is still a pretty good buy in my mind for a tougher to find European release for VC100. That's a beautiful card. And I think it's worth the money personally, but, you guys might have a different opinion than I do. Next up, I've got the Muffin Man. I've bought from this seller several times, and he's got some gorgeous foreign stuff that are listed in buy it now situations. This is a loose gridded Lily tripod cannon. So very, very cool item. Great looking display there. And here's the label on it if I can find it. Letty, made in Mexico, tripod laser cannon, graded UKG 85%. And it does show at the bottom of that little ammo box that it is the Letty. It's got the Letty sticker on the bottom of it. Right now it's listed for 235 pounds, which is $291 US. And it is also make an offer situation. So It is through the global shipping program, so just keep that in mind that you got to pay an extra, $40 to $45 depending on where you are in the U.S. But that is a really cool foreign vintage item that is tough to find and very high grade. He also has a Lili Letty Cat 2 that is loose graded, along with a box that's in kind of rough condition, but they all are, I feel like. You very rarely see these mini rigs made by Lili Letty where the boxes are still in good condition. So this one does have a lot of wear on the box, but the actual Cat 2 itself is in pretty good shape, and that's what's graded on the label there. I don't know if I can find that picture of the label, but the label says, 80% loose graded, loose vehicle graded. So anyway, again, another foreign vintage item that may be worth a look if you're into that kind of stuff. It's a big box and bigger than anything I have the room for, but it's a pretty cool item. Next up, this is at auction, and I have no idea where this is going to end up, but this is awesome. It's got 10 different vintage Kenner baggies. We've got the Cloud Car Pilot, the AT-ST driver, Zuckuss, it looks like a sensor scope, R2-D2, the Rancor Keeper, the Imperial Commander, Luke Hoth, Lobot, the AT-AT Commander, and then also Admiral Akbar. So 10 different baggies, all of them are either tape or heat sealed, and they're advertised as in mint condition, and they look it to me. There's 3 days and 9 hours left on this auction, and right now it's at $390. And I'm sure you're asking yourself, what's it going to end for? I have no clue. If I had to guess, I would say probably $1,000. Just, there's 10 baggies, $100 a baggie, that's $1,000, and it could be more than that because some of these baggies are worth more than that. Some of them are worth less. I would say that the Zuckuss and the AT-AT Commander are two fairly common baggies, maybe the Rancor Keeper, but some of those baggies are pretty pricey, very expensive. Luke Hoth and the Cloud Car Pilot especially are very expensive baggies. The R2-D2 sensor scope can go for $200 or more. So keep all that in mind. But I have, maybe I'll do an update on this in a vintage market update later to see what it's sold for. I'm going to guess it sells for between $1,000 and $1,100. That's just a wild guess. But that's a great, if you're looking to have an instant baggie collection, that's a pretty good way to do it right there, because there's 10 awesome baggies for sale, and they all look to be in fantastic condition. So again, there's 3 days and 9 hours left as of the making of this video. Speaking of the Cloud Car Pilot, this is a CAS 85 plus condition Cloud Car Pilot. It also includes the 48 back B or C card back, the Revenge of the Jedi card back, but it's loose graded 85 plus. It's the Hong Kong variant, obviously, and it's got a nice looking case there. That one's listed at auction right now. It's only $22.50. And there's 4 days, 3 hours left in that auction. I'm guessing it sells for $150 to $175, somewhere in there. Maybe it goes higher, I don't know. But that's a pretty nice looking Cloud Car Pilot. Next up, we've got an auction for Star Wars number 41. This is the continuing adaptation of the Empire Strikes Back film. And this is the first cameo appearance of Yoda in standard size comics. Star Wars 42, which I just showed you in my unboxing video, that's his first full appearance, as well as the first appearance of Boba Fett, obviously. But this is another secondary key that's at auction. Right now it's at $200 one bid, plus $14.50 shipping. It's a CGC 9.8 with white pages. So I think it'll probably end up selling around $250. That's my guess, maybe a little bit less. It seems that book has come down a little bit. It was going as high as $600, believe it or not, last year. But it seems like for the direct edition, you can probably pick it up for $200 to $250. It's already at $200 right now, so let's say $250 for the final sales price on that one. But Star Wars 41 in a 9.8 with white pages, direct edition. That's a pretty good buy, secondary key. Speaking of baggies, we've got another Darth Vader baggie. This is a heat sealed baggie, and it looks to be in great condition. No rips, I don't think. Let's see. It looks like it's heat sealed and in great shape. The Kenner logo and the Made in Hong Kong on the packaging is in good shape. This is probably like an 80 or 80 plus baggie. And right now it's at $62 with $10 shipping. There's 8 days and 5 hours left as of the making of this video. But that's a nice looking Darth Vader baggie. I don't know which one it is. I think it's an ESB baggie. But that one I expect to go for like $150 to $200. That's my rough guess on that one. But that's a nice looking Darth Vader baggie. And then we're going to end with a few comics. We've got Shadows of the Empire #1. This is the direct edition in an auction. It's at $70 with $14 shipping. No bids yet. And this one usually goes for $125 to $150. This is the first appearance of Prince Xizor in comics, along with the first cameo appearance of Dash Rendar. So great looking cover. I love this book. I've got 2 directs and 1 newsstand in my collection. That's a CGC 9.8 with white pages. But right now it's at $70 and no bids yet. So I would try to pick that one up. You might steal it for under $100 if nobody's watching that one. Next up is Star Wars Republic number 52. This is the first cover appearance of Asajj Ventress, and it also shows Dirge the Bounty Hunter. This is a 9.8 again. This is from 2003 from the Dark Horse line. Again, a secondary comic. It's at $135 with $14 shipping. That's probably about market value. I wouldn't go too much higher than that, but that's a great looking cover. I love that cover. It kind of has a Japanese animation style to it, or maybe like a Rob Liefeld kind of style to the artwork there. But great looking cover. Next up is Star Wars Republic number 60, and this is the origin of Asajj Ventress. We've covered this book at length. This one's at $70 with $14 shipping, with 3 days and 8 hours left. I'm guessing this one goes for between $100 and $120, but that's another kind of secondary key. And then finally, I wanted to show you this one. This is another Muffin Man item. This is a Super 8, Super 8 highlight reel from Spain. This is a select scene from 1978, made in Spain. And it's got La Guerra de las Galaxies on the box there, and it has the Super 8 reel next to it. It's graded UKG 80%. Really cool item. That's kind of an off-the-wall graded item if you're into kind of oddball items. Right now it's at $250. It's also make an offer. That's $310 US. Again, I don't know what the value is of this thing, but I just thought it was kind of a cool foreign off-the-wall item that's already been graded by UKG that was worth showing to you guys. So anyway, I hope you find something that you like in this video. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.